How that man treats you is how he feels about you. Let me say that again in case some of y'all are coming in here a little bit late, even my replayers. How that man treats you is how he feels about you. I said this years ago. It went viral. But let me add something to that because it's something I realized after looking at my messages from the last live chat. I see something I need y'all to understand. That's just the starting point. When a man treats you how he feels about you, that's just the starting point in terms of who he is in his development as a man. If he is underdeveloped, if he's not quite there yet in the highest version of himself, how he treats you is going to let you know how he feels about you. But when you're dealing with an evolvement, matter of fact, let me give you something that applies to every man walking and breathing. How he treats you is how he feels about what he wants with you. How he treats you is how he feels about what he wants with you. Big difference. If he treats you how he feels about you, that means his emotions of the moment determine what level of respect, what level of effort that you're going to get. But how every man works, whether he's the most evolved version of himself or the lowest version of himself, is that how he treats you is how he feels about what he wants with you. So let me break that down. First one, how he treats you is how he feels about you. He's mad, he treats you messed up. He's happy, he treats you good, right? But then you got the most evolved version of a man. How he treats you is really how God told him to treat you. How he treats you is a reflection of how he's established himself to be able to treat anybody with a common denominator of respect, right? So no matter how he feels about you, you're going to get a certain version of him or else you're not going to be in his life. But every single man will treat you according to what they feel about what they want with you. If he wants something long term, you're going to get a man that treats you in a way that protects your safety, that protects with boundaries, that protects with consistency. If he wants something fun and just right now, if that's what he wants with you, you're going to get a man that's all about instant gratifications, love bombing right now, quick to get to the sexual conversation. If that man doesn't want to have you around at all anymore because whatever, he's made his use of you and he's tired of you, he's going to start retracting. How he treats you is going to reflect that. He's going to starve you of the attention, of the communication that you need, of the investment that you need. He's not going to want to resolve conflict. So I want to evolve this for people, this concept of how a man treats you is how he feels about you. That's a great way to start because honestly, you can go with that and protect yourself. You ain't got to guess your way through how men work. We're actually not that complicated. I know we different. You different as a woman. You're not the same as everybody, but there are common denominators when it comes to a man. I need y'all to understand this because I see so many of y'all healing from a man that you never should have entertained to begin with. Picking up the pieces of your broken heart to a man who never deserved to even hold your heart to begin with. Because you didn't understand that a man's effort is a reflection of his interest. If he is interested in you to a high degree, you're going to see a high degree of consistent effort. If he's not, you're going to see a low degree because how a man treats you is a result of how he feels about what he wants with you. And that's for every man, no matter what. If he wants you're going to get just friend conversation, he's going to make sure you never get it in your head that you could be the only one or a romantic interest. I want to break this down for somebody who feels like you've been getting mixed signals, who feel like you've been in the dark about what this guy is really wanting from you. You've been asking this man to get an alignment. He said he wants this, but then he acts like that and he da-da-da-da-da. Dang what he's saying. Because a lot of guys aren't even self-aware. I realize this now. I'm going to tell y'all what a dude just messaged me after I posted my video about how whenever you do a girl wrong, like you can burn that bridge. But we'll get to that in a second. The first thing I need y'all is my sisters out there to understand, and my brothers out there too, to understand something. Every man will treat you according to how he feels about what he wants. He wants you to be safe in his life. He's going to listen to you. I was talking about this last night to my Self-Crown Inner Circle. That includes those of you who got the Selfish Season Challenge. You already know how it went down last night. We went in. By the way, if you want to join that Selfish Season Challenge, because I don't think I put the link in here just yet, let me go ahead and put it on Facebook. Those of you on YouTube, it should be pinned somewhere as well up at the top. But last night we had a conversation and a woman asked how she should handle her man being aggressive whenever she brought something to his attention that was bothering her. And I told her like this. That man seems inviting, but he's clearly not safe to love. That man is inviting, but dangerous. And so whenever we in our 18, 19, 20-year-old range, we got time to wait for somebody to develop. We got time to heal if we get it wrong. We got time to do this, that, and the other. But whenever you get to a certain age, you cannot deal with somebody who is inviting but dangerous, who is attractive but emotionally unavailable. I got you, Letitia. If you hit me up, I got you. So with that being said, everything you need to know about a man is going to come whenever you hit some conflict. I actually had one of my brothers say something yesterday, made me think about it. He was like, no, you know how a man moves whenever he's comfortable, when he thinks that he's good. To an extent, I believe as men, because we are problem solvers, everything that you need to know about that man is going to reflect whenever there's a problem. Is he solution oriented or is he sabotage oriented? Some of y'all gonna understand what I'm saying. Some of y'all ain't. I'm hoping I'm talking to some grown folks in here right now. Sabotage, does he make things worse? Does he close you down? Does he make you feel like you're unwelcome to bring to him what it is you have a problem with? Whenever you have an issue with him, whenever you have a concern or a need that's not being met, whenever you bring this problem to him, does he work in a way that makes things worse, that makes you feel unsafe to deal with him anymore, that makes you feel minimalized, that makes you feel unimportant, that makes you feel humiliated or embarrassed for bringing it to him? That's sabotage. Or is he solution oriented? That would be a safe man. Does he say, okay, cool, let me understand exactly what you mean. Am I hearing you correctly? And he reiterates that. Y'all that's been loved correctly, you already know what I'm talking about. But y'all let me know, would this be helpful to you as a woman? You bring to him a concern that you're having, and he says, thank you for bringing that to my attention. I want to make sure I got this fully understood, and then I want to see what is a progressive next step that will be helpful for you. I think it's this and I think it's that, but you confirm with me if that's going to be good for you over the next 30 days, over the next 2 weeks, or over the next time we get into this situation. Would that be helpful for you as a woman? Let me know, yes or no. Would that make you feel safe that he didn't criticize you, insult you, deflect, turn it around on you, bring up something that you did? And so what I'm getting at here is that safe man to love is reflecting his intentions and how he feels about what he wants with you by the way that he treats you, especially in times of conflict and problems. Because as men, we are problem solvers. If we're in our masculine, we're problem solvers. So if that man is a problem creator or a problem exasperator, he goes into sabotage mode, he's either not a man in terms of his masculine energy being where it needs to be, or he's not the man for you. Which means that you need to stop entertaining him, because the longer you entertain him, the longer you're in harm's way of the lesser version of that man. And so whenever you bring something like, hey, I got this issue, and his pride isn't there, his ego isn't there, but rather his compassion, his consideration, his desire for you to know that you're safe with him. Baby, it's safe over here. You don't need your weapons. You don't need your shield. You just need to make me aware of what you're going through, how you're experiencing me, and I'm going to do the work to improve it. I'm willing to be accountable so that it improves. Why? Because what I want with you is not just a lifelong with you, but a healthy life, a healthy marriage, a healthy relationship. How that man treats you is a reflection, not just of how he feels about you, but how he feels about what he wants with you. Now, let's go a little further on what that means. Because we went in last night, but y'all missed it. If you did not get the Selfish Season Challenge, you missed a good conversation last night, but I'm going to give y'all a little snippet right here. When that man is thinking of, this is what I want with this woman, you may piss him off, you may anger him, you may offend him, you may annoy him at times, you may be a little too much for what he's able to handle. But in every way that he deals with you, he's going to be careful, considerate, compassionate, patient, graceful, because what he wants with you is more important than how he feels in that moment. So when you're dealing with the lesser version of a man, when you're dealing with a man who is underdeveloped, who is not evolved, he's going to treat you just how he feels about you in that moment. He's not thinking long term. But when that man starts to grow up, he's going to treat you according to how God said to treat you. If he's principle oriented, if he's a God-fearing man, some of y'all don't care about that, but I do. But if he's a God-fearing man, that's how he's going to treat you. And he's going to treat you according to how he sees himself. I always see dudes saying, well, you know, you don't respect yourself, so I don't respect you, man. If you are a respectful man, there's a certain level you're not going below. But again, let's not even get to that, because as soon as I start talking that real stuff, these dudes get mad. I don't really give it. I don't care. But I know I'm talking to women right now, and I want y'all to have enough to be able to protect yourselves. Because one common denominator for every man is he's going to treat you according to how he feels about what he wants with you. And you have some men who simply do not have the capacity to think long term in terms of what they want with you. So they strictly thinking of what feels good right here and now. That's still what they want with you. And then you have those men who have long-term intentions. So no matter how you piss them off, anger them, ain't nobody going to play with you. Ain't nobody going to be able to talk about you. Ain't no other woman going to feel like she got hope. Ain't no woman going to have a chance. Ain't a single conversation where he gonna go above a certain level in his tone and talking to you. And I know I'm kind of loud right now because I'm passionate. Like I'm so tired of like the unnecessary parts of all of this. And it's like I didn't go through all what I went through, because I gotta tell y'all all the time, I'm not your expert or guru. I'm your big brother. I done been through it, and I relate this because I'm like, so much of it could have been avoided if somebody was real enough to say the truth. And the truth is, as men, let me give y'all some. Matter of fact, before I go to this next point, brother hit me up. I told you I was going to tell y'all this little backstory. Hit me up. All right, we burned a bridge with a woman. Now what? We changed the way that woman looked at us. Now what? We lost her respect. Now what? Now what can we do? He hit me up basically saying, like, I'm basically talking like it's all over with for a man. Let me say this to any man out there, and I want you women out there listening to vouch for me if I'm telling the truth, but call me a liar if I'm telling the truth, if I'm speaking nonsense. When it comes to being a better man, we done burned the bridge, et cetera, et cetera. No woman wants to feel like it's strictly about her. That's the number one mistake a lot of y'all make. I've made it myself. But especially for you dudes out there that you done changed the way that your woman look at you. You done lost access to the initial version that she gave to you. And you think you're going to get another chance, but you're making it strictly about her. She's not going to trust that. She wants to know that you want to be better because you have that standard for yourself as a man. You have that conviction in yourself as a man. You want to be better, not because she might come back, not because she said to be better. The problem that so many women today have, and the reason why they're so exhausted and disappointed with us, is they feel like they got to tell us to do every little thing. They got to raise us. They got to be the ones to push the button and say, okay, now it's time for you to be a man now. It's time for you to be a leader now. It's time for you to communicate now. It's time for you to heal now. And no woman wants to feel like everything that you do in terms of you being better is strictly about her. But we come in programmed with so little conviction to be the best versions of ourselves. We come to a woman and we make it all about her. And then whenever we lose her, we wonder why we're trying to do the right thing and she still don't care, because she knows you're not coming from the right place with it. And if you're not coming from the right place with it, it's not going to last. Ladies, if I am speaking facts, please let me know. If I'm speaking nonsense, let me know that too. Tell me in the comments. Tell me in the comments. We talked about this last night with those that had the selfish season challenge. For those of y'all that got the selfish season challenge, y'all already know how I get down. But for those who don't, matter of fact, I need 5 women out there who want to get back to their best versions of themselves after letting the wrong man love them and acclimating down to all of the ways that he hurt you. I need 5 women out there who want to get back to the best version of themselves over the next 30 days to join the Selfish Season Challenge. Because I think some of y'all don't know. Some of y'all don't know what happens whenever you take time to yourself to detox from all the ways that a man's poisonous love has contaminated you. Click the link if you want to join the Selfish Season Challenge. We're going to go live there again tonight, matter of fact. We're going to go live there tonight, again, matter of fact. But back to what I was saying. Men that feel so hopeless, you lost your girl, let me just go ahead and get on that subject. While I got the women here to tell me if I'm tripping or if I'm telling facts. If you want to get back with your woman, the first thing, the number one thing, you could turn this off after you hear this. The number one thing you got to do is make it about you, not her. That's the number one thing. You got all the value right there that you need. If you want to get your girl back, stop thinking you're going to get your girl back, and that's why you're going to do what you're about to do. Stop thinking you're going to impress her. You're going to do some knee-jerk reaction or something like that, because what's going on in her mind is what happens whenever you get me back. Then you got what you want. That's what's going to go on in her mind. What happens whenever you get me back? What happens if you don't feel like you can get me back? You're just going to do whatever you want to do, right? What happens if we not on good terms? You just gonna do whatever you want to do, right? The man that she thought she was getting was the man that said, I have this standard for myself. And as a woman in my life, you get to be a beneficiary of the fruits of my own labor to cultivate the highest version of myself. Not that you are making me be a man. That leaves a woman no room to not be her best self and be able to lean on you. How's she gonna lean on you, but you only you because of her? This is why I reserve this for my Selfish Season Challenge members, because I know a lot of this stuff probably go over some of y'all heads, but I see some of y'all are getting it. Rosie, you get it. Lacey, you get it. The first thing you got to do is stop making it about whether or not you're going to get her back, because whenever you come from that place, one, you try to rush her. Two, you're still being selfish. You're still thinking about what you want from her instead of thinking about what you should be establishing within yourself. That's what she deserved from the very beginning. That's the reason why we get it twisted and thinking a woman wants to see a man at a certain level of life, both economically and personally, because they just want a finished product. A woman is really attracted to a man who had those convictions, who shows that track record based on something deep down inside. She can latch on to that. That's what ignites her natural feminine energy, is the man who was so heavily entrenched into his masculine energy. Whether she was born or not, he still would have been on this trajectory towards his highest self. That's the kind of man that she wants to give babies to. That's the kind of man that whenever things hit the fan, she knows she can look to for protection, provision, for clarity, to get back to a place of peace within herself. That's the type of man that she knows she can be rooted in with a family unit. Not the man that says, well, long as we good, or long as you come back in my life, then I'll be integral, then I'll be honest. The first thing you need to do, man, if you want to get your girl back, is go ahead and disabuse yourself of the notion that you're going to get her back. Stop even thinking about that. And see, if God decides to open her heart, open her eyes to what you got going on again in the future, but she's able to see at that point it's strictly about you. You lost all hope in y'all, but you still wanted to be better. She can trust in that. That's your only chance. Because even if you make it about her, you're still saying there's something got to be in it for me. You lost that. That was a privilege in the beginning. That was a benefit of the doubt in the beginning. But when you say, well, I'll go see the lady, I'll go get help, I'll treat you right if you come back, you still making it about you. You making it contingent on what you want out of the situation. And you didn't even give her what she deserves to begin with. Woo! Am I telling the truth or am I tripping? And by the way, if you're getting anything of value from this right now, share this with somebody on your timeline. The same way you're getting something of value, somebody in your friend circle, family circle probably needs to hear this message too. Because there's so many of us who do not understand this. And man, I'm telling you, not as your expert, guru, or pastor, okay? I can't tell you how to live. I'm just your big brother. Man, I done went through this stuff myself. I done seen other brothers go through this stuff myself, and it's so unnecessary. Because at the end of the day, as men, if we are rooted in our true masculine energy, we're going to have principles that lead us, not impulses of emotion and happy and sad. You know one thing, a woman likes whenever a man's romantic and passionate, but if that's the only way that he does anything good, a woman will eventually resent you. She won't be able to respect you. If the only time that you show up as a man is whenever you feel like it, she won't be able to respect you. She probably won't even want it that bad, because that pendulum swings the other way. The moment that you don't feel so good about her, the moment that you don't think she looks as good as what she once did, the moment she got a little attitude because honestly she's stressed and she's not okay, and that's really your signal to come in and soothe her and comfort her and let her know that you got her. But nonetheless, you don't understand that, so you personalize it. The moment that happens, she already knows I'm going to get a different version of him, because he's impulse-led. He's pleasure-led. He's not principle-led. This is why women do not like nice guys. Can I go a little bit deeper? Y'all be talking about women don't like nice guys because they don't want a good man. No, women want a good man. Women want a man who is kind, not a nice guy. Nice guys don't have boundaries. Nice guys are people pleasers. Nice guys are emotionally led. Whatever it takes to avoid conflict. How's she supposed to expect you to go out into this world, assert your will, address and confront conflict on behalf of protecting the family, but you're afraid of conflict in the home? You're afraid, you shut down, you withdraw, you say whatever she wants to hear. That's why women cannot respect a quote unquote nice guy. Yes, be kind. Yes, be respectful. I'm not saying that. She wants a man who is a good dude, who don't treat her like trash. But you nice guys out there thinking that entitles you to a woman because you're afraid to challenge anybody, including her, and the lesser versions of yourself that are making her feel less than secure with you. That ain't gonna get no respect from no woman. Stop blaming it on the character of a woman that she don't want to do, that doesn't have a backbone and is not in this masculine energy, and thinks that by being hyper effeminate, he's being good enough for her. No, that's not even attractive. There's a such thing as polarity, and this is what I talk about in the Selfish Season Challenge to my inner circle members, because it's kind of a concept. It's tough to break it down here on social media. Again, if you have not gotten access yet to the Selfish Season Challenge before it even ends, you don't want to miss this one. Click the link that's pinned right here in the comments. I don't know if you guys can see it on Facebook or YouTube. It may be in the caption whenever you back out. I don't know. But get access to the Selfish Season Challenge, where I go through the polarity. But let me give you guys a top level, because for some reason it seems like today's men have not been taught this. Every time I look online on the podcast, these dudes are talking as if men and women are synonymous. No, we are equal in value. I said this before, but we are supposed to be polar opposites, complementing each other. Together we come together and we make the whole, but not by yourself. If you're a man who's truly on purpose, what you're trying to achieve is so much bigger than you. You need a woman who's in her feminine. But in order to get the fruits of that woman that's in her feminine, you have to first be in your masculine. Why? Because the feminine is responsive. The masculine is the assertive factor. The masculine is the establisher, the tone setter. The feminine is responsive. It's intuitive. It feels. It adjusts. It sees what we can't see. It senses in the spirit. Again, this polarity talk. And so whenever you as a man, you think you're going to just go by your feelings and your emotions, brother, that's the woman. Why do we have so many men who try to be the woman? Y'all talking about matching a woman's energy? I'm going to put y'all on to something, man. My brothers out there. And see, this is why I like whenever women are watching, because I don't need just my voice alone to be what you trust in. You ain't got to trust me. I don't give it. I really don't care. But the women are going to tell you, women going to keep it real. They ain't got nothing to gain or lose by lying. Ladies, y'all let me know if I'm tripping when I say this. A man who matches your energy will not keep your respect over the long term. Facts or fiction? Ladies, tell me if I'm speaking facts or fiction. Any man that matches your energy will not keep your respect over the long term. You get upset, he get upset. You get loud, he get loud. You turned up, he turned up. Fellas, if that woman knows that if she's in chaos or panic, you immediately gonna be in chaos or panic, you're not keeping her respect. She may give it to you off top because she's a respectful woman. But at some point, she's going to lose attraction to you, trust in you, safety with you. She's not going to keep that respect. So a lot of us who don't understand polarity, those of you who don't understand polarity and how we need to complement each other, not mirror each other in how we move, y'all are trying to be the woman these days, and that's why they don't feel comfortable being the woman they're capable of with you. Y'all be calling women all types of bitter and masculine. No. You don't bring out the feminine energy in her. And no, it don't work like that for us. We supposed to be masculine regardless. We are the tone setter. The woman is the responsive factor if she's in her feminine. But you can't even know that if you're not in position in your masculine. But that woman get upset, brother. She's panicked. She overthinking things. That's normal for a woman. Y'all be complaining that women are women. It's not that a woman can do no wrong. Hear me what I'm saying. I'm not saying women are never wrong, women are flawless or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is a lot of the stuff that we complain about as men is really a byproduct of us not understanding the energy of a woman, of a feminine woman. At times, because she's more emotionally led and supposed to be, she's going to get hyped like in her emotions a lot. She's going to get sometimes all over the place. She's going to be kind of frazzled. A man who's in his masculine, this is the part that I need my brothers out there to hear, and I say this as your big bro as well, from a place of love. You are supposed to establish the peace all over again. Baby girl over here, she all over the place, man. You don't know what she battling inside. You don't know how much overwhelm she got going on. But as the masculine factor, you're supposed to be the one that allows her to calm back down again. She overthinking, she this, that, and the other. Guess what? When you tell her that she tripping, she crazy, you only making it worse. You're matching her energy. But when you see beyond how she's coming and you establish safety, you establish the calmness, the peace, bro, let me tell you something. not only are you going to resolve the conflict more quickly and more effectively, you might just turn her on. Can I get real with y'all? Because I typically only do this for those that are in my inner circle. Those that got the Silver Season Challenge, y'all already know how we got down last night. I told y'all some personal stuff on that private live chat just for us. That woman come to you with chaos and all this kind of stuff, and you able to be calm with respectfulness, not minimizing her, not thinking, no, be able to be calm and listen to her. Repeat back what she said from an assertive, respectful, confident tone that does not match her energy. And brother, not only is she gonna start breathing better, calm down, her central nervous system is not going to be as activated. She'll respect how she couldn't pull you out of your masculine by simply being feminine. And with that, you might just turn her on. You might just make her want to jump on you, bro. Like, ladies, can y'all, those of y'all who are allowed to talk in this comment section, can y'all vouch for me if I'm telling the truth? You all chaotic and all over the place. You overthinking, and you got a man who is stoic but respectful. He's engaged. He's empathetic with you, but he's not getting caught up in the same energy as you. Instead, he's bringing a different energy that makes you feel like I can come into that energy. I don't have to keep this chaos and hyped up, super excited all over the place. I can come into my man's energy. He's calm. He's peaceful. We must be okay. That's what a woman is thinking and feeling. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. We must be okay. This must gonna be all right. I can latch on and anchor in his confidence in this situation. Because one, I can tell that he still cares about me. He's not dismissing me. He's not ignoring what I'm saying. He's totally engaged, but he's not coming into me. So therefore, I can come into that and we good. And brother, if you can provide that for your woman, dog, that woman gonna want to jump on your bones. You thinking you just trying to win the fight with this woman. She wants to know that you're on her side and you're not fighting against her. That's it. And seeing that, you win the war. You damn the battle, you win the war. Now you and your queen don't have that division, that wedge. She doesn't lose that respect for you. But you got to want to come into this type of masculine energy for yourself, not strictly because of her. This is why it's so important. That woman is not trying to come and tell you how to be a man. Some of us ain't got big brothers or men in our lives to teach us these things. I know I didn't. So I learned by trial and error. But I do what I do, and I'm so passionate about it because I'm like, well, if there's less of us learning by trial and error, there's less of people who are damaged by men because they're a part of that trial and error. Because every hard-learned lesson from us is a hard-lived life for her. Every hard-learned lesson for us as men, as we still becoming men the hard way, is a hard-lived life for her, our queen. And now as a cohesive unit, we don't ever have that momentum into what we could be. Now as a culture, we're not what we could be. As a society, we're not what we could be. But back to the family is not what it could be. But it starts with us. And so hopefully for fellas listening, y'all ego and pride can block what I'm saying out, block out all the women I'm seeing in the comments, letting you know that what I'm speaking is facts and how they work and what they respond best to. Cool. There's a wise few who's going to listen to what I'm saying though. And again, ladies, share this because there's probably some men on your timeline that need to hear this message as well. They never heard it from a man. But the truth is, no woman wants a man who's going to match her energy in every situation. Just imagine somebody go bump in the night. You 3 o'clock in the morning, somebody kick down your door, break your window. Somebody's in the house that ain't supposed to be there. You scream, and the man beside you do the exact same thing. He screamed too. I say, are you going to feel safe? Ladies, tell me, are you going to feel safe if somebody kicking the door 3 o'clock in the morning, somebody in your house, you got a whole ass man right beside you. He wake up, you scream, he scream. You're gonna be like, hold on, the screaming, that's my part. What's going on here? The screaming, the being scared, that's my part. And he screaming, are you gonna feel safe? Yes or no? Because that's what happens whenever there's a problem in a relationship. Somebody is kicked down the door. Insecurity is kicking down the door at 3 o'clock in the morning when you least expect it. And that woman, she's upset. She's in her feelings. She's frightened. Why? Because she's hyper attuned to her emotions as a feminine woman. She's supposed to be. She's not supposed to have it all together all the time. Ladies, let me tell you, if you with a man that tells you, If you with a man that tells you you always got to be composed, always got to be stoic, that's not a masculine man. He's not allowing you to be feminine. You're supposed to overthink at times. Not that that's supposed to be the constant of the relationship, but you're supposed to have times where you don't have it all together, all figured out. Okay? Don't let a man try to make you be the masculine energy in a relationship. But what you're supposed to do is be able to refer back to the masculine man that you've been pouring into, that you've been serving and submitting to, that you've been making sure his life is easier and more enjoyable. You're supposed to be able to refer back to that energy and with patterns know that that man is good. So now I can be good because now I've allowed myself to come into the plan in a situation with a man who he's good. We solid. He got his supportive and maximizing factor in me. And I got the stability and the strength and the protection in him. Oh, together, we can't be touched. But that's actually what a feminine woman is supposed to do. And so you men out there that be getting upset and so frustrated, oh, she's a woman. Yeah, duh. Are you a man? And this goes back to what I said in the beginning. How a man treats you is how he feels about you, especially if he's at the lowest level of himself. Y'all are running into men that are still reacting to their emotions. They're hyper attuned to their emotions, as opposed to you being able to be that. That's what they are. And so when it's good, they good. When it's bad, they bad. But every man is going to treat you according to how he feels about what he wants with you. Now, back up to the highest version of a man, when he's truly evolved, when he's truly worked on himself, when he's come out of all of that emotional impulsivity and he's coming to principle and how he's led, he's still going to treat you about how he feels about what he wants with you. But that's going to be led by him treating you according to what God said to treat you as. He's going to treat you according to that because he's really treating you according to how he feels about himself. Now he's coming to his own masculine, his own principles as a God-fearing man. This is how I show up for my family. This is how I show up for my businesses, my work. This is how I show up for my children. This is how I show up for friends. This is me. Like, this ain't about them. This is me, my standard for myself. So if she get whatever she get, there's a certain way that I don't accept me talking to a woman. I'm not doing it. The love ain't there. I'm not feeling like my needs getting met. Well, there's a certain line I'm not going to cross with any woman or anybody because I got this established for myself. I don't like the version of me that I look at in the mirror that's looking back at me whenever I move a certain way. So I got to do this way. Damn, if she on that, she might not be receptive. She might not be acknowledging. She might not be speaking words of affirmation and letting me know I'm doing a good job. But because I'm me, this is how I'm moving. This is how I'm coming. It took me a while to get there. I had a trial and error my way. I don't come to you as your ex. I got this all figured out, or I had it all figured out my whole life. I had to learn by trial and by fire the hard way. A lot of pain went into this. I'm telling y'all so you don't have to learn the hard way. For men that are listening and for women that are listening. Because a lot of y'all, this is why I created the Selfish Season Challenge. So many of y'all also don't understand the polarity that's supposed to be there in a relationship, and therefore you try to take on a man's role in the relationship. You try to be the one that's calming him down, making him feel safe all the time. You try to be that man. You try to be the one getting things done. When it's hard, you put your feelings aside just long enough to execute whatever it's going to take to get you and your family in a better situation. Y'all out here grinding yourself to a thin dust, stretched thin all over the place. A lot of y'all who are overworked, stressed out, and burnt out are so because you're not even in your feminine. You're having to execute beyond how you feel and your well-being. That's what we supposed to do. Traditionally, we were the ones that went out to war. And again, this is what I talk about my inner circle. We went out to war because as men, we had the capacity. We were designed. We were initially built with the capacity to do things, even if we weren't in a good place emotionally. Our comrade gets his arm blown off or just killed or whatever. We traumatized and all that kind of stuff. And as humans, we at some point need to deal with that. But right here and right now, the enemy is still shooting. We got to get this thing. We got to get the job done. We got a mission to complete. As men, I know I'm getting kind of deep for some of y'all. And this is why I like to really have these conversations with my inner circle. But as men, we were designed in our masculine to be able to get a mission done, no matter how we feel, and then deal with our feelings at an appropriate time. Not women. Women are not supposed to be the ones doing that. And so many of y'all are burnt out, exhausted, frustrated. You're tired. You don't want to date no more. You're gaining or losing weight in a way that you're not really supposed to. Your quality of life is trash. Your mental health is in the garbage because you're dealing with men and you're trying to be that man. You're trying to do what we were designed to do because you're dealing with men who are not doing what they were designed to do. Put I, if I'm making any sense to you. If I'm making sense to you, put the letter I real quick so I can see if I'm talking to anybody. Put the letter I if I'm talking to you. A lot of women are so exhausted and not able to be their feminine, sensual, loving, receptive, trusting selves because they're wanting that love and connection with a man, but what they're getting are little boys in men bodies. Because as a child, as a little boy, and I've been there myself, we not supposed to have this masculine thing. We're not supposed to be polar, be in our polarity with a woman. Like that's because we're children, right? But there's so many boys in men bodies who are still there, even as 30, 40, and 50-year-olds. And then you get with a woman, and then you got to pull her out of her feminine just so she can have a relationship with you. And so that's why we have a group of men today who largely would treat you, ladies, according to how he feels about you. But I'm going to tell you what to do about that. If a man is treating you how he feels about you, run the other way. Run the other way. If a man is treating you strictly on how he feels about you, if that man doesn't have the capacity to say, you know what you said to me, how you said it earlier, that was unacceptable. It didn't make me feel good about the way that you deal with conflict, about the way that you deal with things that you don't like in a relationship, about how you handle things that we need to work through. I don't like that. It's unacceptable. But I love you. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. We're going to figure this out. If that man can't do that because he's so in his hyper effeminate that the moment he feels offended, oh, you going to talk to me like that? I'm just going to get me another one. I'm going to do whatever. I don't even want to, no, click, hang up on you, blow you up. Why you ain't calling me back? And he getting all in his emotions because he's upset. Instead of establishing the structure, the law, and the order from a healthy, masculine, assertive, confident, but loving place, you see, there are men who can, quote unquote, set you straight and not in a way that disciplines you as a child or because they're superior to you. But there are men that even whenever you're wrong, they can get you back on track and they can let you know that you're out of line, but it's in a way that makes you gain respect for them. Y'all ever been in a situation where a man let you know that you was tripping, checked you on something, and in how he handled the situation, you gained respect for him? You may have even got more attracted with how he let you know, like, that's unacceptable. We're not doing that. You're not opening the door for yourself. You're not talking down about yourself. We're not doing that. I'm not okay with that. I don't accept it. No, you don't have to get those groceries by yourself. No, you don't have to pay this by yourself or go in debt and let your account go negative because you ain't got no money. You do ask me. I don't care. If I can enter your body, I can come and help you with whatever's troubling you or pressing on you financially too. If I can do all of that, all that hyper independent stuff, that got to go. You're not by yourself no more. A man can set you straight with confidence, with assertiveness in a way that makes you know that, okay, I'm with the right man. I'm with the right man now. I got a masculine energy around. I don't have to be that masculine. I ain't got to figure everything out by myself. I ain't got to make do with the little, make something out of nothing. I ain't got to do that no more. I ain't got to be exhausted all the time. I ain't got to go to sleep so stressed that I can't get no good rest. I ain't got to do that no more. I'm with a masculine man. I'm with a man now. And what I'm saying to men is not to bash you. It's hopefully to ignite the part of you that will bash that lower version of yourself that's caused you to bring out the worst in the women that you're dating. When you treat that woman only according to how you feel about her, that's exactly what happens. Even when it's good, at some point she gonna know that there's another side to that, and she got to watch out. But at the point whenever you treating her according to how you feel about what you want with her, and what you want is exactly what you said you want, and it's long term, and it's good for both of y'all, and it's principle led, because from a place of how you feel about yourself, you have a very high standard. Now you're going to get the woman, the version of her that she's capable of being, and likely the version of her that's going to blow your mind. Again, I come to y'all in authenticity and transparency, that there was a time where I didn't understand this. I learned this the hard way. I ain't just reading no books. Then I've been able to see thousands of case studies over the last decade of doing what I do to know that this is facts. And then I'm on here, I'm trying to let y'all, I'm stressing it through. Hey, women, in real time, y'all let me know if I'm tripping. And fellas, if you're watching, they're letting you know I'm not tripping. So hopefully, my brothers out there, you take what I'm saying. Now, for women out there, again, understand that because you are the responsive nature in your feminine energy, if you've been dealing with men who didn't deserve you, you are likely still responding to that in some way. You may not feel like it, but whenever you don't trust a man who's coming to you, who presents something good, he may not be. But if you just automatically don't trust him, you're still responding to the men who mishandled you. If you're unable to receive the love from a man who's showing nothing but green flags, you're still responding to the men who mishandled you. If you start opening up to a man and it feels so scary and unsafe, you're still responding to the men who mishandled you. If you had a guy and he did you wrong and he seems to be living his best life and is pissing you off, or you get triggered whenever you hear his name, or somebody reminds you that y'all was together, or you see a picture, you're still responding to the man that mishandled you. And this is why, ladies out there, y'all need a selfish season, not a season of isolation and guarded, over guarded, or whatever. Like I said, everybody, I need 5 women who want to get back to their best self after being mishandled by a man who did not deserve them. And they want to get back to their best self in the next 30 days, and peace of mind, mental health, physical health, financial, to click the link and join the Selfish Season Challenge. I'm going to make an example out of y'all on what happens whenever you use the right strategies, when you use the right guidance, because I'm going to personally guide you into that version of yourself. I'm going to make an example out of 5 women on what happens whenever you use the right guidance to get back to yourself, and how that will set the tone for what you attract from that day forward. All I need is 5. I don't need everybody. I need 5 women who want to get back to their best self. The link is in the top. If you're on YouTube, the link is pinned somewhere in the comments, also in the caption whenever you back out. The modules, the book From Heartache to Happiness is included. Weekly live with me to be able to ask your questions. Only 5 women. If you click that link, you get access to the Selfish Season Challenge. I'll see you on the other side. And I'm going to make an example out of you how in the next 30 days, really 15. I just know some of y'all don't think that this thing can happen in 30 days, but I've already seen it. Really 15 days. But with that being said, I'm going to get up out of here. If you got something of value from this conversation, be a blessing to those on your timeline. Your friends, family, coworkers, your niece, whoever might be watching this may need to hear this message. Hit the share button. That don't cost you nothing. Hit the share button. Be a blessing to somebody else. Don't be selfish with this. And I'll let y'all be good, man. Peace.